Part 2. This is a challenging topic for me because among a few things I really dislike to do is to tell negative thing about people around me. Anyway, the annoying neighbor I am talking about is a businessman and a successful one in that who likes to travel to different parts of my country rather frequently for various business purposes. Nobody should find an issue with a hardworking and a successful businessman as his or her neighbor said. Of course, the neighbor continuously keeps boasting about his business success while demeaning his neighbors at every opportunity because of their professions or beliefs. For example, he didn't like my father's teaching profession because he thought that only PhD degree holders, which my father wasn't, should get the opportunity to get to teach students in university. Now I understand that. Besides, he also thought that it was his car to park his large vision sometime anywhere in our neighborhood, even if it was blocking at the passes or access road of his neighbors. Anyway, I am not sure as why he's an annoying person, but I guess that it must have to do with growing up in a rough neighborhood with no proper guidance. Part 3. 1. Do people living in small cities know more about their neighbors than people living in big city? Yes, of course. In the small city, people know how to talk to each other and express their feelings to their neighbors. This is in stark contrast to people living in big city. Maybe it's because the big cities is pretty busy and they only come home when it is late at night. Then it's time for them to relax. So there is no too much connection between two neighbors. 2. Why do people rarely talk to each other? I believe that because the big city is pretty busy and they only come home when it's late at night. Then it's time for them to relax, so there is not too much connection between two neighbors, or simply they don't want to hang out like me. For me, I just like to hang out with my BF, so I don't even know anything about my neighbors. 3. How could we improve relationships among people. For a man who doesn't like to improve relationship with a neighbor like me, I really have no idea. But my mother used to say, first of all, to meet and live our neighbors with a good impression on her, like help them do something or give them a delicious dish that will keep them from forgetting us. 4. Do people help each other than they did in the past? Yes, of course. I think that neighbors saw themselves as kind of group to help each other. But now, with so much violence and dishonesty in the world today, I think many people are afraid to get involved with others. They don't know if they might be taken advantage of or get in trouble in some way. However, I think that inside people want to find friends and they want to love. Yeah, as someone say, everyone, no matter what color or creed, wants to love and be loved. I believe that even though we may not perfect, but I think we all would like to live harmoniously with neighbor and others around us. 5. People watch TV a lot nowadays. How has this bad effect on how has this affect relationships among neighbors? I think I think TV watching has had a bad effect on relationship between neighbors. In the old day, people would go out for a walk in evening or sit outside their house. They would make friends and keep up with what was happening in their neighborhood. But now many people just plop down in front of the TV in the evening and are couch potatoes. Having this kind of habit keeps people from being able to build close relationships with their neighbors and even members of their own.